Also in that Fox News town hall, Trump essentially admitted to killing the bipartisan border security bill in Congress because it would have, quote, made it much better for the opposing side. Biden.
Why were you against the House, against the Senate border deal, the bipartisan border?
Well, they allow 5,000 people a week. Number one, that, but it also made it much better for the opposing side. I don't know if you've heard this, but I came up with this one: migrant crime. There's crime, there's violent crime, there's migrant crime. We have a new category of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's going to be worse than any other form of crime.
Yeah, actually, that's so many things about that are wrong. So many things about that are a lie. I mean, first of all, one stat after another shows that what he says, migrant crime worse than all other crimes. One stat after another just says that's not true. Of course, there's individual examples, terrible examples like we saw in New York. But overall, if facts matter, if numbers matter, if data matters, what he said there's a lie. Saying that the bill lets in 5,000 migrants a week, that's a lie. But Chris Matthews, I just want to zero in because you worked in the House, and it's just extraordinary that you actually have a president of the United States that talks about migrant crime. So let's just say it's the worst thing in the world. Let's take his lie. And just for argument's sake, say, okay, Donald, we'll accept your lie that migrant crime, you believe migrant crime is the worst crime in the world. So what does Donald Trump do? He admits at the same time he's going to allow, quote, migrant crime, which is the worst crime, as he says, to continue for another year. He's going to allow fentanyl to continue to flood across the border for another year. He's going to allow Americans to die because of fentanyl for another year. He's going to allow, what they say that spies from other countries, Chinese spies from other countries are coming across the southern border. He's going to allow that for another year. And he admits it, that he's going to allow all this to happen because he says, quote, it's good for the other side. So he's going to kill the bill because he doesn't want James Lankford, a conservative Republican, to work with Democrats on a problem that he says is the worst problem in America. Kind of hard to sort through that, Chris, isn't it?
Well, the thing is that the Republicans and Trump will still benefit from the border issue. If they cut a deal and they really squeeze the Democrats and get them to do something they don't want to do, which is get really tough on the asylum issue and narrow the definition of what it is and really separate the wheat from the chaff and let the right people in and keep the wrong people out, he still will have the border issue. He's clearly anti-immigrant, and clearly that's a good issue for him. So even if he cut a deal like this, it doesn't make any sense. He's got the problem. The American people have the problem, and he still would have won the fight. It's an issue. The border works for the Republicans. It's a fact. Like inflation, it just does. People don't like prices, they're going to vote Republican. So I think he really was. I don't understand this because, again, I'm going back to the House Republicans. I know they have a narrow, very narrow advantage there, holding the majority. But there's some good things they could be doing here. They could be doing something about the border, like the Senate did. They can do this. It's doable, and they don't want to do it. They're afraid of taking him on Putin, and I don't understand what an anti-communist party like the Republican Party has always been, why they can't be anti-Putin. What is it? Putin puts people away. He invades other countries. He's like Hitler that way. First, it's Munich. By the way, it's amazing. We just had the meeting in Munich. Munich, 1938. They took Czechoslovakia. 1939, they took Poland. 1940, they took France. Don't you see the pattern here? Doesn't everybody see what Putin's up to? One country at a time. Right now, it's trying to take Ukraine's freedom away from it. This is good Republican ideology. Where are the Republicans? Don't they have to go back to their people and say, I know you love Trump, but here's what I believe. Here's what I believe. We got to stop communism in the world. We got to stop this guy Putin because he acts like a communist. He's a tyrant. Why don't we do something about him? They don't seem to want to move. He said he likes Navalny because he's being treated like Navalny. He wouldn't even mention Putin last night. By the way, I think Laura Ingraham knew everything right last night. I've always had suspicions that they're much smarter than they act on television, those people over there at Fox. They all know what's going on. They know what we know. We don't have some secret information. Trump's wrong. He's dead wrong. They know that.